Now I promised to go through the power of one with you, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. I've already actually created this as a complete wizard, just so we can speed through it a little bit. Let me just open it up and drag it across to the correct screen again. There we are. As you see, I've actually already filled everything in, and we're not going to go through everything in massive detail because this is virtually all the same stuff again. The only key points here on the first page is you only need one set of profiles. Everything else will depend on your campaign. On the next page, important things as always is here to set this number of links to 1. We're only going to want to do 1 link per profile. Everything else pretty much the same as we always have things. We've got our keyword as our company name, got 3 sets of tags, and we set up just a standard generic subdomain. The only thing, as we often like to do, because we're not a hugely great fan of the numbers, but we add in another dash here, just so it separates the number off from the final word of our keyword that's going in the subdomain. Our usual trick here of having a few words and then the word ignore at the end, so that it automatically ignores ones that are completely irrelevant to us. Everything else, auto generation. Next, this is our highly spun generic text. You can download that on our website in the spin section. I have replaced the word keyword with our keyword. Have to copy it in twice, even though we're not naturally going to be using the author bio. You have to have some text in here, otherwise the wizard will not allow you to continue. Next, as you already seen this, we just loaded this in. No changes whatsoever. Just skip through the profile first. Profile is just a generic profile. We've downloaded a Hotmail account and we tested it. Tested again, did it a few minutes ago. Should still be working, and it is. This was all auto-generated. We did check to make sure the gender matched the name. Nelson is usually a guy's name, and male will do. So the 2 areas that you have to fill data in for, it will default the title to whatever you put in as the title for common projects, setting A, as always. We're using one of our spun articles. These are our quality spun articles. If we check the uniqueness on this, you'll see it's probably quite unique. It's 63%, so you know that's pretty high. If we do a preview, we drag it over, you'll see they make perfectly good sense. Now, the one thing we have done, which we don't always do, we have inserted the link here at the end of the first paragraph. There's a lot of debate as to where the link should go in an article, whether at the beginning or the end or in the middle, what's best. Our general consensus would be that links within text are the best, and I do kind of prefer to have them up near the top. I know in most of our videos I've been lazy and just gone for the insert links at the bottom, but if you've got an extra 35 seconds you can insert them in the middle. To put them in the middle, all you need to do is use the pound links pound sign. It's this sign here, pound links pound. Add it in with a sentence. We've got more details in, find out more, want to know more, and then pound links pound and a full stop to finish the sentence off. Now that of course does not make full sense with the paragraph behind it, but to be honest, nobody's going to care, and as far as Google's concerned, that'll look quite nice. Everything else pretty standard. Because we did that change late, we have to do the change manually for the subdomains here. Make sure you untick this, otherwise even if you make a beautiful article you're going to be producing garbage. For the next one, let's just, by the way, this if you actually want to read this, all this is saying is this may be a bit too long. I absolutely disagree. I don't think a social network nuke can ever be too long. Even if it was 2,000 words it would be a good page. I certainly think 300 words would be a ridiculously small number, and I would ignore that completely. Here we actually have the same article again. Because it spins so well, I'm just using it for the tier 2 as well. The only difference we've done here is when we actually went through this first time, we put the insert links at the bottom, and if you see, what we've got is for more information, want to learn more, visit, to learn more, read, and then our link will go underneath. As this is linking in, what you'll be getting here is the anchor text will be from the title on the previous page, as these are the same. So the anchor text could be the right way to test and optimize your landing page, because those are, if we skip back, as you see it's the same title here, these become the anchor texts for tier 2. Everything else as usual. We're going to have to go into here and change this because we did it late again, and we've unticked down here. And that's all you're going to set up, because this is quite a small nuke. You can ignore that. It's going to make me test again, I know. Very tedious, this testing all the time. That's okay, and we click next. It will now give me all the warnings again. Right, settings. These are, of course, absolutely the same as always. And you need to pick a capture account. I'm not actually sure which capture accounts have got any money in whatsoever on this machine. Let's see if death by capture has anything. Taking a long time. Okay, that doesn't seem to be working. Let's just try let's go back and see if it will unclear that. This could be an interesting problem. Well, let's carry on and see what happens. We need to enable proxies just to make sure. You can untick it, tick it again, and that will bring up your proxy box. We've actually got it set at the SEnuke ones. We'll change that to my custom ones. Click save. For scheduler to work, if you're going to run the scheduler, which obviously we're going to, we need to have this unticked, and we need to set a time. It's going to take me a little while to set the rest of this up, so let me just set this to in about 40 minutes time. How many days? You can actually run this in one day. It wouldn't be a huge problem. If you're a little bit concerned about running it that quickly, you don't want to run it over too long. It doesn't gel very well if you're running this over a very long time. Maybe up to 6 or 7 days would be okay. Let's just stick in 6. Maximum threads, etc. Because we're running proxies, we're not going to get a massive amount of bandwidth, so I don't really advise you going up at the top end, and just keep it sensible. Check in here, check they're all still 100%, I haven't changed them any time, they are. And that, in theory, is everything set up. Now, the only problem we've got is that it's still checking the capture here. Let's just see what happens if we click next. It lets me do it anyway. No problem. Okay, so we can export it. We'll click finish. And our project is made. All nicely named up as always. In the brackets, it just shows you where it's linking to. So this is a tier 3 forum profile, and it links into the tier 2 social network. And this one's a tier 3 RSS, and it links into the tier 2 social network. So you just know that these two link into here. Right, a little bit of editing that you need to do. Firstly, open up tier 1 social network. Drag your box across. And you need to select 4, 5, 6, maybe 7, maybe 8 accounts from here. And the rest you need to unselect. Now, you do remember, don't select ones that you don't have a category for, or of course you could just now select the category manually if you want to. Quickest thing to do here is to deselect all and then manually select a few. What some people like to do the first time they do this is organize this on PR and select their 8 based on PR. Personally, it's not the greatest thing in the world. WordPress has a nice habit of deleting your pages. Now, they probably won't delete this because it's quite good text, but I'm not going to play that game. We're going to pick the first 6, but not including WordPress. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So this is going to be our tier 1. It will be these 6 here. Oh, let's have wet paint as well. There you are. Those 7. That's the only change we need to make. You can now close that off. And we need to open up the tier 2 social network. Just drag it over again. I'll organize that on PR again. And this time you need to untick the ones that you've just selected. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and wet paint 7. So now it's going to create tier 2s just on these other pages, and they will be linking into the tier 1s that we've made. We can have a little look here and just see if there's anything we could And there we are, other content, may as well have it. Any others? There we are, kind of education. Oh no, they've got an other down at the bottom. Let's have other. Okay, so now we've actually got them all. So we're going to have 32 linking into 7. And that's it. You can close that one off. And you can leave it now. Obviously, if you've got your scheduler paused like I have, you need to unpause your scheduler. Otherwise, it's never going to start. But other than that, it's ready to go. It's going to create 7 tier 1s. It's going to do that over 3 days. After it's completed those, it will then do the tier 2s. Now, each day after it's done the tier 1s, it will do nothing. It will just sit and wait. When the tier 1s are finished on day 3, it's then going to start doing the Web 2 profiles. It will spread the web profiles over the next 4 days. Those web profiles are put straight onto the tier 1s. It's also at the same time going to start doing the tier 2s. The tier 2s are going to be spread over 2 days. Each day after these tier 2s are done, it's going to RSS that day's worth of T2s, and it's going to index that day's worth of T2s. After the T2s have completely finished being done, it's then going to run the forum profile nuke on those T2s. And the forum profile nuke is going to be spread over 3 days as well. So all in all, you're going to have quite a powerful network, and it's all going to flow from the bottom to the top. There's no cross-linking or anything like that, because we've not used any last URLs or ran URLs. It's going to be a straight flow from the forum profile through the web 2, the forum profile through the tier 2, and then up into the tier 1, and then up into the money site. And there'll be a second route coming from the web 2 straight into the tier 1 and up into the money site. They're just absolutely direct routes. There's no crossovers between paths. Personally, although this is quite a simple looking setup, I quite like it. It's quick, it's easy, and it's quite powerful. We could do the same thing using a exported campaign. We could do that a slightly better way, because we could create the link structure with a little bit more power, and I will do that in the next few days. So you have the option to use an exported campaign rather than using a wizard. But as many people love the wizards, and it's so quick and easy, here it is in wizard form.